For years, fans have been waiting for Demet Özdemir to finally break her silence, to speak directly about the endless rumors, the whispers, the love story that has followed her like a shadow wherever she goes. From Istanbul to Rome, from the sets of Turkish dramas to international magazines, her name has never been far from Yaman's. And now, at last, she has spoken, and what she said has stunned the world. The moment came not in a staged press conference or a carefully scripted television appearance, but in an interview that started as something ordinary. The host asked her about her projects, her successes, her growth as an actress. Demet, always composed, smiled politely and answered. But then came the question that fans have been dying to hear, and what about Yaman? The silence that followed was heavy. You could almost hear the breath of the audience being held. For years, Demet had carefully avoided this question, sidestepping with grace, keeping the mystery alive. But this time was different. She leaned forward, her voice softer than usual, and said the words that sent shockwaves across social media. It's time I tell the truth. I won't hide anymore. Yes, everything people felt watching us, it was real. In that instant, history was rewritten. The love story of Can and Demet, once dismissed by critics as fan fantasy, was suddenly confirmed by the very woman at the center of it all. Her words cut through years of speculation. The chemistry that burned on screen, the stolen glances off screen, the undeniable connection, they weren't just acting. They weren't just rumors. They were truth. The reaction was immediate. Fans screamed, cried, and flooded the internet with hashtags. Hashtag Demet confirms, hashtag Can Demet forever, and hashtag truth bombs trended worldwide. Clips of her words spread like wildfire, paired with emotional montages of her Kensi Kuss scenes and romantic music. People who had supported them since the very beginning felt vindicated, their loyalty finally rewarded. But it wasn't just what she said, it was how she said it. Demet's eyes glistened with emotion as she admitted the truth. We were young, we were reckless, we were in love, she said softly. But sometimes love isn't enough to survive the pressures around you. Fame, expectations, distance, they can destroy something pure. The vulnerability in her voice was undeniable. This wasn't a publicity stunt. This was a woman speaking from her soul. She spoke about the joy of finding someone who understood her without words, about nights filled with laughter, about moments when the world faded away and only the two of them remained. But she also admitted the pain, the arguments, the misunderstandings, the weight of being constantly watched. We tried, she whispered. God knows we tried. But we weren't strong enough. And then came the most shocking part of all. Looking directly into the camera, Demet said, "A part of me will always love him. I can't deny that. He was my missing piece, even when I didn't want to admit it." With those words, fans broke down. The fantasy they had carried for years was no longer fantasy, it was truth. Meanwhile, Yaman himself has not yet responded publicly. But insiders claim he watched the interview, and those close to him say he was visibly moved. It's what he always wanted to hear, one friend revealed. He carried those feelings for years, and now hearing Demet finally say it, it's like closing a wound and opening another at the same time. The press, of course, exploded. Headlines screamed, "Demet confirms everything." The truth about Can and Demet revealed. Her confession stuns the world. Talk shows replayed the clip again and again, dissecting every word, every glance, every tear. Body language experts were invited to analyze her sincerity, though no one really doubted it. For fans, this moment was nothing short of historic. It wasn't just about celebrity gossip, it was about closure, about validation, about a love story that had shaped their own lives. Couples who had fallen in love watching Kensi Kuss posted stories of how Can and Demet inspired them. People wrote long messages thanking Demet for her honesty, saying her courage gave them strength in their own relationships. But the confession also reopened old wounds. Some fans felt sadness, mourning what could have been. Others demanded a reunion, flooding both Can and Demet's social media with pleas, "Get back together. It's not too late. Love like yours only comes once." Whether or not that ever happens, the truth remains, Demet Özdemir confirmed everything, and the world will never see her or Can the same way again. She ended the interview with words that will echo for years: sometimes love doesn't end. It just changes shape. And though we are not together, the love will always be part of me. Her honesty was raw, her voice breaking slightly as she said it. And in that moment, the world didn't just see a celebrity. They saw a woman, vulnerable and brave, finally telling her truth. The ripple effects continue to grow. Every media outlet has covered it, every fan community is still buzzing, and the debate over what happens next rages on. Will Ken respond? Will they meet again? Or will this confession stand as the final chapter of one of the most talked about love stories of our time? And yet, beyond the frenzy, one thing is clear: Demet's words have liberated her. For years, she carried the burden of silence, knowing that every look, every rumor, every headline connected her back to Can. Now, by speaking the truth, she has taken control of her own story. "I don't regret loving him," she said. "I only regret not being brave enough to say it sooner." Those words hit like a thunderbolt, not just for fans, but for Ken himself, wherever he was watching. Social media only amplified the drama. Fans slowed down clips, zoomed in on her eyes, analyzed every gesture. "She was shaking," one viewer wrote. "That's how you know it was real." Others pointed to the moment she smiled softly while speaking his name, calling it the most genuine smile she's shown in years. And the impact wasn't just on fans, it rippled into the industry itself. Producers, directors, and even co-stars began speaking about how rare it was to see such honesty in a world dominated by PR and image control. One Italian journalist wrote, "Demet has given us something priceless: truth." And in today's entertainment, truth is the rarest thing of all. Meanwhile, fans began organizing global trends. In Italy, people projected #DemetConfirms onto buildings in Rome. In Spain, fan groups held watch parties to replay her words together. In Turkey, fans gathered outside TV studios holding banners that read, "It was real. We always knew." The confession had transformed into a movement, a collective celebration of love and vulnerability. For Can, however, the weight was heavier. Sources close to him suggested he spent hours alone after watching the interview, reflecting on everything that had been said. One insider revealed, he's torn. Part of him wants to pick up the phone immediately. Another part is afraid of reopening old wounds, afraid of letting the world pressure them into something they're not ready for. And that is where the story now stands, at a crossroads. Demet has spoken, confirming what fans always believed. The ball, as they say, is now in Can's court. Will he respond with equal honesty? Will he remain silent, letting her words stand as the final truth? Or will destiny, once again, bring them back together in ways no one can predict? Whatever happens, one thing cannot be denied: Demet Özdemir has changed the narrative forever. Her truth bombs shattered years of silence, erased doubts, and reignited one of the most powerful love stories modern television has ever given us. Whether as a past to remember or a future yet to be written, Can and Demet's story will continue to live in the hearts of millions.